What's good, y'all? Back again, another day. It's your boy, the Curtis York, and we in the building, man. We in here. What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? It's the big Thursday. You know what I'm saying? One day before Friday, and we in here, man. How's everybody day? How's everybody doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to Yorktown. What it is, what it do. Um, my day, thank you for asking. My day was pretty cool. You know how we do. Today I went and got an oil change in the car. Um, recently got the car back up and rolling. My dad came and helped out changing the fuel pump. So I went on ahead and took it to get the oil change, and we did that today. Then we had to get the tire plugged, which means I'm probably gonna have to buy a tire very soon because, and this is for the fellas, man. If you don't know, well, the ladies too, ladies, y'all need to know this. Whenever you get a tire plugged, that is a temporary fix. You definitely want to already go ahead on and plan and understand that when you get a tire plugged, you're more than likely gonna have to go ahead on and grab a new tire as well. My bad, y'all. I'm looking at my schedule to see. Um, I'm tripping. Uh, oh yeah, my bad. I gotta look at the calendar just to make sure everything is smooth. So yeah. Whew. Anyways, yeah, man, y'all gotta whenever you get a tire plug, you might as well just go ahead on and account for getting a new tire. So yeah, I'm already looking and figuring out when we're gonna get that new tire. Obviously your boy is still unemployed, so we um we just willing and dealing and maneuvering how we need to. What's up? We got my brother Jamari in the building. Jamari, my dog, welcome to Yorktown, man. Make sure you hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? You know how I rock, man. My boy Jamari been in here every night. So shout out to my dog Jamari, man. We've been doing live till 500, and my dog Jamari has been here consistently. So shout out to my broski. I definitely appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, so whenever you plug a tire, you might as well just go ahead on and plan on getting it replaced. So, and the tire had a slow leak for a minute, and I just went on ahead and got it plugged because it's kind of aggravating to go to have to remember rather to go get the air every 2 or 3 days, or every other week or so. And obviously when the time starts shortening between when you have to put air back in it, you can kind of gather up and collect that the air is that the tire is no longer good. So got to get a new tire on top of everything else. But in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty small because tire is about 130, 145. So we'll get that. But anyways, we had that going on today. Wife came with me, so we did some walking and walking and walking and walking. So I got my exercise in, all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, so the big thing that I want to talk about today, which is something that we've already been talking about numerous times. So I just want to put it back on your brain cells. I told y'all, and I know my people at Yorktown know this already. So shout out to y'all, man. But I told y'all, bro, it is real out here. What is that noise? It is real out here, man. People are lying. People are faking, flexing, fronting, but it's real out here, bro. It's ugly, and people are hurting, and nobody wants to talk about it. And so I'm glad to see that a lot of other people are seeing it and they're talking about it, and it's going on. I'm extremely grateful that I'm not the only one that's seeing it. Because I was really starting to feel like I was out here losing my mind, man. Because it's like, bro, things are rough out here and nobody's seeing it. And I'll tell y'all, here's one thing, for example. Me and my wife were talking the other day, and she was like, well, how bad do you think it's gonna get? And I'm like, you know, it's probably gonna be Great Depression levels as far as pain that people feel. And how about we were watching a documentary on YouTube, and the guy was just talking about how there's all of these shanty towns and Hoovervilles. And for those of you who are young or who didn't pay attention in Southern Life, who didn't pay attention in history class, let me show y'all, man. Hoover towns are basically, um, let me see, Hoovertown, Hoovertown, Hoovertowns. Let me do a quick Google search of Hoovertown so y'all can see, man. Hoovervilles. Share screen. We'll do this one. All right, Hoovervilles. So these are Hoovervilles, y'all. Basically, it's when people live on the side of the street and they here you go. Hoovervilles. This is a Hooverville. Well, this is a Hooverville house. But you had a bunch of Hooverville communities, right? So, people ask how bad it's gonna get. Well, number one is here, and let me provide some receipts. Um, let's see, in Charlotte, we have Tent City. So look at this, y'all. So this was right here in Charlotte. This is when I first moved up here in 2020, which is further confirmation that yes, it's been here. So this is Tent City. You know what I'm saying? And there's still a lot of other places, you know what I'm saying? They moved the people out. Um, so you got that. Let me see. LA. People love talking about how flashy it is in LA. Let me see. Skid Row, Tent City. Boom. Here you go. Now, y'all, what's the difference between this and, you know what I'm saying, what I just showed y'all? Is black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like the pictures were in black and white, and here the pictures are in color. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. So I keep telling people, like, it's here, man. And y'all can act like y'all don't see it. Y'all can pretend like y'all don't know what's going on. Or maybe you really don't know what's going on and you really don't see it. And you drive past it every day and you don't pay attention to it. But let me show you. So this is LA. You got Skid Row. Let me go back real quick. You got Tent City, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? You got Tent City, and look, it's on Google Maps. Permanently closed. They got them up out of there. Now, another question, if you want to get deep, is what happened to those people? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. It's a really interesting question because now we're about to talk politics. So, Charlotte Grant plans to move former Tent City residents out of hotels. 75 people who used to live in what was called known as Tent City would get permanent housing and support thanks to Federal CARES Act grant. Now, Federal CARES Act grant, just so you know, that's what we were talking about with Democrats and how they use your tax money in order to fund things. So if you vote Democrat or you vote liberal, just know that you're going to pay more taxes because the taxes are going to go towards, more public issues, theoretically in concept. Now, speaking of taxes, I got something else I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna try to skirt around it. But you got Tent City in Charlotte. Let me see. Atlanta. I don't know what they call it. Maybe Tent City. Let's see. Bro, just type Tent City. Tent City, and they'll show you the name. I mean, they'll fix it for you. So, homeless population growing. Tent cities. Y'all, how is this different from what I just showed y'all on freaking Hoovervilles? Like, what's the difference? Y'all, the pictures are in color. That's it. Let me see. New York. Let's see. New York homeless community. Maybe let's clean it up instead of doing Tent City. I don't know. New York is different. New York is different. Cities with the largest homeless. Let's do this. This was March. Cities with the largest homeless populations, 25. Let's just go straight there. I wish they would just have them in a list. Tucson, Arizona. Let me see. I want to see. I don't want to see slides. There we go. You got Tucson, Arizona, Minneapolis, Minnesota, San Antonio, Houston, Austin. Hold on. What the dude said in that Drake song? Hold on. Y'all, look at all these places in Texas that are full of homeless people. Look at Houston, y'all. Everybody want to run down to Houston, you know what I'm saying, and party and live their life and do what they do in Houston. Look, y'all. Look, bruh. Miami, same thing. Long Beach, California, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? People love talking about crime and, you know what I'm saying, how people out here doing crazy and stuff. But, oh, y'all can't even see it. Hold on, let me switch. My bad, y'all. Let me switch. Ain't nobody say nothing. Let me show y'all, man. So this is what I was looking at. The 25 US cities with the largest homeless populations. This is what we're looking at. This was in March by Julia Haynes. So you got Tucson, Arizona, Minneapolis, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, 3 in Texas off the rip, Miami, Florida, LBC, Long Beach, California, Chicago, Fresno, California, Dallas, and Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you look at that, Houston, we still looking at the images. Can you see it now, Jamari? Is it showing up the list? Do you see the little images with the cities next to it, or is it showing up as a slideshow? What you got? Let me see. Let me turn that on. Let me see where we at. We good now? Okay, bet. So yeah, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Dallas. Look at all these places in Texas, bro. Let me see. You got Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio. That's 4 Texas states off the rip, bro. And then California, you got Long Beach, you got Fresno, Washington right there, Boston, Massachusetts. Now the crazy thing about Massachusetts, let me show y'all something. Wealth in Massachusetts. Y'all, Massachusetts is the second wealthiest state in the United States of America. Now, you know your boy is going to pull out his receipts. Remember, just the other day, I was telling y'all the middle class is disappearing. You're going to have the haves and the have nots. Bro, Massachusetts, it's right here, bro. It's right here, dog. I love being right because I be telling y'all, sometimes I hate being right because when I'm right, it means that it's usually a bad situation. But Massachusetts is the second wealthiest state in America, but they number 14 in terms of the homeless population, bro. That you got the haves, you got the people with a lot of money, and then you had a have-nots. And a lot of people think that just because Massachusetts is the wealthiest state, they benefit out that wealth. But no, they don't. Just because you live in Massachusetts and you live in one of the wealthiest states, don't mean you get to reap the benefits of that wealth. And here's proof right here, bro. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Every time you look on the news, they're talking about Chicago. They're talking about Philadelphia. They're talking about the crime. They're talking about all these murders, all these people that you seeing getting killed. Well, when you have a homeless population that high, what do you expect, bro? Like, you got a bunch of crime. You got a lot of people that spent out on drugs. Like, all of this stuff ties together, and they try to separate it, and they try to cherry pick these things to make stories and to make headlines. And as you can see, let me see. Texas is a Republican state. And this, you know what I'm saying, is why I don't really get into the Democrat versus Republican argument because let me see. Texas. Let me confirm. I just want to make sure I ain't giving misinformation. Red state. Let me see. What is a red? Texas is a red state. Let me see. Yeah, Texas presidential election voting history. Republican. So yeah, bro, Texas is a red state. Now, remember what I told you? The Democrats, they do a lot of government programs and whatnot. When I showed y'all Charlotte, it showed that Charlotte came up with a grant which means a grant that came from the government. They created a grant to take care of the homeless. Texas is like you get it how you live, and which is why their thing is so high. But this is where it gets tricky because you got Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts. Let me see. Massachusetts. Let me see. I just want to make sure I'm giving the right information. I don't want to be. That's why I don't sit up here and act like I know everything. I'm quick to look it up and verify voting history. I wanted to go back to that. Yeah, here we go. It's a blue state. So y'all, if they're supposed to have the tax, you know what I'm saying? If they're supposed to be Democratic, blue, you know what I'm saying? The wealth should be taking care of everybody. Because remember what I told y'all, Democrats historically have been known to use government money in order to fund public services and events. So with that being said, these people are blue state. Why are they homeless so high? What contributed to it? The reason is because politics only goes as far as the people that it benefits. Massachusetts has a high wealth concentration, and they focus their votes on terms and politicians that benefit their motives and what they agree to and what they believe in. Portland, Oregon, Las Vegas, Denver, Colorado, San Francisco, San Diego, two more California places, Phoenix, Arizona, Sacramento, California. Wow. It's like, bro, literally every other city is in California, bro. Wow. So let me see. You got yeah, I like this list a little better. So let me see. California, there's 25 states, and out of 25, well, no, 25 cities. Out of 25 cities, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 out of 25 is from California. Let me do some quick math real quick. 8 divided by 25. 32%. So, and look, y'all, real quick. So this is what you need to be looking out for when the politicians come out and they start talking about certain um policies and what they plan on doing and whatnot. I remember the other day, Dan was like, and shout out to my brother Dan, man. I wish he was in here right now. He was saying that the governor of Florida would be a great presidential candidate to run for the Democrats. Boy, don't you know the Republicans would tear him to shreds? It's like, bro, why would you make a good president for the United States when your state has the highest homeless population? Bro, you have, let me see, how many cities are in? Well, no, let's just kick it this way. So you got 25 cities. Out of those 25 cities, 8 are in your state. What was his name? What's his name? Let me see. Governor of California name. Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom, I got a question for you, brother. And somebody like Trump is going to be bringing that smoke, and he's the type to ask this kind of question. So, Governor Newsom, you want to run for president? Why should we vote for you when your state has the highest homeless population? If we stick with your policies, what are you going to do to the nation? And it doesn't matter how bad all of these other states are. All that matters is you got 8 out of the top 25. Let me see. How many, just out of curiosity, how many cities are in the United States? So out of 50 states, let me see. Small cities. 2018, there are 19,495 cities. So this was 2018. How many cities are in the United States? It's probably running off the latest census. So that might be what it is. But let's run off this number. So countries across the world have minimum population. In the US, this is 2,500, about 80% of the United States. So as of 2018, there were 19,495 cities. So let's see. Let's just focus on those eight, bro. So yeah, that's crazy, y'all. So yeah. Anyways, I hope y'all see what I'm saying. It's here, guys. And that's confirmation. It's been here for a while. You know, the history books are going to look back and they're going to call it a certain time period and extend it out. You know, a lot of us are looking and we're saying it's now, but a lot of this stuff's been going on for a while. None of this is new. The fact that California has 8 out of the most 25 is insane. And, him running for president would be crazy because I know that that's going to be the first thing people bring up, and I would love to hear his. Let me see. As a matter of fact, not do that. Gavin Newsom on California homelessness. I wonder what he had to say about this homelessness, homeless population. Let's do that. And y'all, I hope y'all paying attention, man. This is how you break down information and you get to what's important. Gavin Newsom has an aggressive new plan to fight California homelessness. I hope so because he has 8 out of the 25 top homeless things. We talked about what homelessness is on another video. So, hmm. In November, Gavin Newsom made an abrupt announcement that shocked the states, cities, and counties. He would withhold $1 billion in state homelessness funding because of local governments' unacceptable plans to collectively reduce homelessness by just 2% by 2024. Let me see. California has funneled more than 20 billion into housing and homelessness programs since the 2018-19 fiscal year, and yet it has the largest increase in its homelessness population of any other state from 2020 to 2022, with 172,000 people experiencing homelessness on any given night, according to federal data. California accounts for 30% of the country's homeless population and 50% of its unsheltered people, despite making up less than 12% of the total population. Y'all, let me explain something. I think I mentioned this before, but let me tell y'all homeless doesn't mean you just out there living on the street. That's what unsheltered people are. Homeless means that you don't have a place that you call home. You don't have an address. If you sleeping on your baby mama couch and you don't live there, you're homeless. You know what I'm saying? So that's for context. A lot of people are homeless, bro. Especially now. Let me see. Did he say at the root At its root, California homelessness is a housing problem. The state's decade-long failure to build enough homes, particularly affordable ones, has priced countless people out of the market, leaving them nowhere to go but to their vehicle or the streets. And that's what we were talking about yesterday on last night. A lot of people want a house, but they can't afford a house. And when people think of home, Dan, I'm glad you ain't here, brother. I was looking for you. Remember how last night you said that if the Democrats were smart, they would run Gavin Newsom for president? Here's the thing, bro. I just happened to look at the homeless thing. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta set the groundwork. So I was telling about a conversation I had with my wife and how, right now is pretty much like the Great Depression because you have a bunch of shanty towns, you have a bunch of tent cities, and you have a very big homeless community. You know what I'm saying? And so then I looked and I saw the top 25 homeless cities in the United States. And so California has 8 out of the top 25 homeless cities. Hey, you already knew where I was going to. Cali is a big stain on his resume. That homeless crisis is real. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, bro. It's like You got a lot of people that are working regular jobs and they can't afford a house and they can't afford rent in California. And so they're sleeping in their cars. Hold on. Let me show y'all, man. Um, yeah. Oh man, my bad, y'all. We back. I hit the wrong tab, but we ain't here. We ain't here. My bad. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I put a little too much dip on my chip just now. Let me see. Sleeping and cars. So, hmm. Another thing that's going on as far as people sleeping in their cars and the homeless crisis, people be sleeping in Walmart. And people think I'm playing. Let me show y'all. Next time you go in Walmart, if you go to the back of any Walmart, pretty much any Walmart, bro, if you go to the back of any Walmart and you see a camper or you see a van, 9 times out of 10, bro, these people are homeless, dog. Look at this. Vehicle dwellers. They got a name for it and everything. Typical life in my car. Very random. I ain't gonna click on these because I don't want to get no you know what I'm saying, copyright strikes or anything like that. Sleeping in Walmart parking lot. It was one video I watched, bro. It was so sad, man. It was a lady and her son, and they were sleeping in the Walmart parking lot, and she showed her daily routine. 25. Look at this, y'all. 25 best places to sleep when living in your car. 1.8 million views. Let me ask y'all a question. Why do you think 1.8 million people are watching a video on YouTube about where you can sleep in your car? 1.8 million. Why, bro? Why do y'all think people watching that? You think they're watching it like we doing it just to look and, provide information? No, bro. People are watching these videos because they are sleeping in their cars, dog. Like it is real out here, man. And the other day I had somebody on Instagram try to tell me, "Oh yeah, man, well the GDP is good." You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no inflation. We ain't in no recession. The GDP is high. And I'm like, brother, listen, let me tell you something. The GDP, hold on. Let me just say this, man. A lot of people think that I just be coming up here talking and I just be saying stuff. Let me show y'all something real quick. Yeah. I'm gonna just grab two so y'all can understand. Y'all, I don't just be pulling stuff out of a straw hat. You know what I'm saying? I have an MBA, which is a Master in Business Administration. Now, I don't really. I love my degree. I cherish it. I appreciate it. I worked hard to get it, but I'm not the type of person to rest on my laurels. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also the type of person that's constantly researching, that's constantly studying. I wanted to show y'all this book. This book right here, this right here, this is The Wealth of Nations. Or is it A Wealth of Nations? Yeah, The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Bro, y'all see this book? This book came out like when the United States, let me see, 1776, y'all. 1776. This is Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations. You know what this book talks about? It talks about capitalism. Adam Smith, let me show. I want to make sure y'all understand, man. We're going to get back to GDP in a second. Who is Adam Smith, in case you don't know? Adam Smith, let me see. Where's something simple that breaks down who Adam Smith is? Adam Smith believed that economic development was best fostered in a free environment that operated. And it's going to make sense because I was just talking about GDP and now I'm sitting here talking about Adam Smith. But it ties together. So, Adam Smith was an 18th century philosopher, His most famous work is The Wealth of Nations. Adam Smith's ideas, the importance of free markets, assembly line production methods, and gross domestic product formed the basis of theories for classic economics. Y'all, now you see how it makes sense? I was just talking about GDP, and then I showed you the book, The Wealth of Nations. Not, the textbook, or not, the little economics book. I went and bought the actual book because I wanted to learn more about, what was going on. Now, backtrack real quick. GDP. What is gross domestic product? A comprehensive measure of U.S. economic activity. Let me see. So this is GDP. Consumption, investment, net expenditures, government spending. So you take that stuff, you calculate it, you put it together, and basically it tells you how a nation is doing. And what you got to understand about the GDP is that the GDP basically tells you what the government is doing, people that are investing, but it doesn't reflect the everyday person unless you only look at the consumption and you look at what people are consuming. But just because people are consuming doesn't mean that the economy is good, because people are going to consume regardless. We live in a consumer economy, and that's a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? People were consuming on Black Friday. Just because people spent a lot of money on Black Friday, does that mean that we aren't in a recession? No, that just means people are spending money that they don't have, which again, people spending money that they don't have. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me see, where is it? I was watching another video. This is how I started realizing I'm not crazy, y'all. Let me see. If white America is crying over money during the holidays, why is a wealthless Black America solid? Y'all, y'all, I know it's not the people in Yorktown, because the people in Yorktown, we talk about this every night, and we always try to, address these types of issues, and we had these conversations. So I know it's not Yorktown. But all these other towns out here, all these other people, you know what I'm saying? Why is nobody talking about the fact that people are hurting? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me read this DM. I'm not going to show it to y'all because I don't want to, put somebody out there like that. But I got a DM that says, geez, I'm in the 70s right now with no kids, and it's still a struggle. I really don't know how people are making it. I honestly thought I was tripping. Yes, bro. This person thought that she was tripping because nobody else is talking about it. Nobody's keeping it 100. Nobody's being honest, bro. All you see is people on the beach. You see people going to all these different places, people going to Dubai. Like, y'all don't even know nothing about Dubai until y'all heard rappers talking about it. But you got people going to Dubai, people going to Houston when Houston has an extremely high homeless community, and then they get upset when their car gets broken in. People go to Atlanta and they think that they about to live this glamorous, luxurious lifestyle, and then they get upset when their cars get broken in. Bro, y'all are traveling to places where you have people in poverty and destitute, and you showing up flexing, thinking that you good with your gratitude 11s on, you know what I'm saying? And you got a bunch of people out here that are starving, literally starving, like no exaggeration. They're starving, and hungry people are going to eat by hook or by crook. So, you know what I'm saying? I said all that to say, y'all, we got to stop this capping, man. Let me see. Let me read another one. Let me see. I posted on Instagram today about the homeless, not the homeless, but about low income. Somebody said, I feel like 80K is a realistic number with current prices. Straight, I need housing, food, etc. $50,000 ain't cutting it. Let me see. I think it was another one. I appreciate y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have no idea what's going on with the recession and the shift that's coming. Bro, it's hard to have an idea because everybody's out here capping and not talking about what's going on. People not being honest, man. Everybody want to talk about GTA 6, and I'm going to talk about GTA 6, and I'm going to get GTA 6. So let me just put that out there. But at the same time, you can talk about GTA 6, and you can still talk about the fact that it's rough out here, and everybody's feeling it, and everybody's going through it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I know I went on a tangent with that, but it's serious. It's very, very real. People are sleeping in their cars. People are, you know what I'm saying, just it's real out here. It's destitute, it's ugly, and you need to be preparing now. You know, I'm sorry, y'all, but Christmas, you might just have to take a back seat, bro. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. I brought two. The other book, Economics for Dummies, y'all. Economics for Dummies. I study this stuff. I'm not just talking. I'm not just throwing stuff out there and just saying stuff because it sounds cool for clicks and likes. Y'all, I study this stuff. I bought this version because I wanted to make sure that I understood it on a base level at the for dummies. I wanted to make sure that I can understand this and I could break it down. So no, I'm not just sitting up here talking and making stuff up and pulling stuff out of my tail. I'm really looking at this stuff and I'm studying this stuff. I got my MBA in 2019. It's 2023. I'm still consuming this information. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all, bro. And that's my physical books. Let me look at my PDFs and my audio books that I got. Speaking of books, in a second, I'm gonna give y'all a recommendation. I don't think I recommend it. Well, I'm always recommending books, but I'm gonna recommend another book for y'all in a second. Um, but before I do that, let me show y'all. I got project management books. I just got books, y'all. You got to get this information. You got to learn because knowledge. So put it this way, information is like a rock. You know what I'm saying? It's a natural resource. It's something that you can find. You know, it's there. It's in abundance. It's here, especially now. Information is here. It's the easiest that it's ever been to obtain information. Now, the difference between a rock and a diamond, it's the fact that a diamond has been refined, it's been processed, it's been applied, it's been shaped, it's been molded, it's been formed. And when you take that information and you refine it and you clean it and you mold it and you shape it and you form it, then that information becomes knowledge. And then with knowledge is power. A lot of people think, you can just read these books and you can just take this stuff, or, you can have a degree, which is why earlier I told you I don't rest on my laurels. I barely brag about the fact that I have an MBA. I put it at the end of my name because I'm going to get my respect, you know what I'm saying? But I don't just take that and say, oh, I'm good now. No, I still got to work. I still got to grind. Even with my MBA, I still have to prove to people every day that I'm competent and I know what I'm talking about. So, you got to refine that knowledge. You got to refine that information, and you got to figure out how you can apply it to your life so that it becomes knowledge. And then you take that knowledge and you better your life. And you know what I'm saying? You make sure that you're doing what you need to do so that you can live, because, you know, 50,000 ain't cutting it no more. 60,000 ain't cutting it no more. And what you got to understand about inflation is, if the cost of things go up, then it's still inflation. If you can't afford a house, and a house used to be $70,000 and now it's $370,000, it's still inflation, guys. You know why? Because, and let me tell you how the price of houses work. If it's a new construction home, they're charging based on the land and they're charging based on the materials that they use. A house is, and what people have to understand, a house is a business. It costs money to make a house. And when you finish that house, you sell it in order to generate a profit. And you need raw materials. You need lumber, you need wire, you need X amount of stuff that you put into the house. And when you sell the house, you want to be able to generate a profit. Basically, think of a house the same way that you think of a car. When the car dealer sells that car, they're selling it at a profit margin so that they can make a profit. And then you, the buyer, takes that car and you drive it, you use it up, you do what you need to do with it. And when you're done, you sell it. Somebody else takes possession of the car and they do what they do with it. I think if a lot of people look at a house, buying a house, and treat it the same way as buying a car, it would be a lot easier for people to understand, because it's pretty much the same. Granted, I ain't even gonna make that joke, but a house in a car are pretty much the same. That's why a lot of people live in cars. Damn, I made the joke anyway. Yeah, you treat a house like you treat a car. So, when you're done with the house, you sell it and somebody else buys it and they move into it. They decide if they want to fix it up or they do whatever you want. The same way people flip cars, they flip houses. The same way you take out a car loan, you take out a house loan. The same way, your car will be 10, 15 years, a house is 15, 30 years. So the concept is almost the same. And if you break it down and you think of it that way, that makes the home buying process a lot easier. Now, you get into the mortgages and the mortgage packages, you look at mortgages the same way because at the end of the day, a mortgage is a loan. And a loan is a product that people sell in order to generate money. The first thing, a lot of us, we have an emotional element and attachment to things. When we buy a car, it's a milestone. When we buy a house, it's a milestone. Because these things aren't milestones. It's just like when you buy clothes, it's just, it's something that you buy. Now, granted, I'm not comparing a house to a t-shirt. I won't do that. That's a little extra. But what I'm trying to get across is it's a product, just like everything else. It's a product. A loan is a product. A house is a product. A car is a product. All of these things are products. And we have to learn how to get on the other side from being consumers into being producers. We need to be making the products because that's where you make the money. That's how America runs. It runs off people buying and people selling. You either need to be buying or you need to be selling. That's it, y'all. I hope that makes sense. Let me see. Jamari said no one wants to live in reality. 100%, because reality is ugly, man. Reality is nasty, bro. Reality is rough. It's a pain, but running from it ain't gonna change the fact that it's still here. So we got to deal with it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to be honest. I'm telling y'all, man, I had to cut back. I remember before I got let go from my company, I could feel it in the air. And anybody that was around me in that time, y'all knew. Jamari can vouch. He knew. He could tell. I was always talking about it. I was talking about my plan. I was talking about my exit strategy. I was talking about how we was going to cut back on spending. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying that. I'm sitting down. And then when it happened, I wasn't shocked because I knew, bro. I knew. I could see the signs. I could understand, and I still have social awareness. I still understand how politics work, and I still understand how the world works. So I knew, and I was making the steps to make sure that we were secure, and we're okay. I'm not one of these people that's going to sit here and flex and act like we perfect and we got everything figured out and we got it all together because I don't. I'm still learning as I go, but that's the thing. I'm still learning, and y'all need to be learning too. And I hope if you don't take anything away from these live streams, just take away the fact that you just got to learn and you got to devote time every day to study and prepare. If you make less than $50,000, then every day you need to be figuring out what you can do to climb that social ladder. you know, Maybe you need to get some credentials so you can pad your resume, so you can elevate. Maybe you need to network more and talk to somebody and see what's out there. I don't know, but every day that's the mindset that you need to have. I mean, at one point in time, y'all, I was going to bed at 8, waking up at 5, 4, just getting it, man, because I knew that I was in danger. And, I'm still in danger. So, yeah, man, on that note, I'm gonna sign out, but I did say I had a book recommendation for y'all, and it wasn't Adam Smith. I wouldn't recommend y'all read that book because it's long and dense, and yeah, it, it was written in 1776, so there's that too. I wouldn't advise it, um, but a book that I would recommend, and it's short. It's only like 2 hours long, but it's jam packed with information. It's called The Systems Thinker: Analytic Skills. This book right here by Albert Rutherford. And before I sign off, I'm gonna just give y'all an example of how dope this book is. So earlier, my wife and I we had a little dispute, a disagreement, a misunderstanding of alignment of just ideas. So, you know, I looked at this, which comes with the book, the analytic thinking cycle. And we talked about the problem, we made a hypothesis. Well, really, we did all of that in one and we just jumped from the problem to the solution. But, we got to start looking at conflict resolution too and figuring out how we can deal with things in healthy and constructive ways. And, this came directly out of the book. And, it was something that I could take instantly and apply and immediately see results. You know, I ain't going to show you on my whiteboard because we got personal stuff on there. But, we wrote down the problems, we went through the thinking cycle, and, we're in a much better place. So I'm definitely encouraging everybody to check out this book. Um, like I said, it's only 2 hours worth of listening. I listen at 1.2 speed, so that's probably why it's only 2 hours. But I highly recommend it. And I'm going to sign out, y'all. So I'm going to holler at y'all before these kids wake up and we got to do daddy mode. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with somebody else. And I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. We're going to be right back Friday night.